But if the referee had called this, I wouldn't have argued that either.
I would have. That's not a penalty kick.
I totally would have argued. Can I redo that? I totally would have argued that.
Welcome to Instant Replay presented by Cheez-It. Another week in the books, Bobby. It's MLS Week 8. Let's do this.
And this week, we heard you in the comment section, we are doing every play. Psych.
No, we're not.
Some of those plays are lame. We only do the most controversial plays here on Instant Replay.
That's correct. And we start with a new segment that I just made up right now called Anatomy of a Brawl. And that means we're going to Friday night in Kansas City. Sporting and the Whitecaps got after it after this tackle by Kendall Waston. Okay, I think we can both agree here. That's a yellow card on Kendall Waston, but Waston doesn't agree, and he stands over Espinoza, and that's when it pops off.
Johnny Russell was not having any of that. Runs 30 yards, sticks up for his teammate, pushes Waston back, but then it really got going.
Yeah, Kevin Stott's the referee in this one. The VAR is Edwin Jurasevich, and they had a lot to wade through here because as we slow this down and take a closer look, yeah, that's one. Oh, body slam by Yordi Reyna. That's a clear red card. He's got hands around the neck. That's excessive force. But then here comes Efrain Juarez. Is that hands to the face? It sure looks like it.
It is hands to the face, and as the laws of the game say, any deliberate action to another player's face deserves an automatic red card. They left referee Kevin Stott with no decision, 2 red cards to the Caps.
Yeah, and you better believe Johnny Russell got a yellow card for this one as well. That was deserved, so were the red cards. Props to Stott and Edwin Jurasevich for getting this one right. To Stade Saputo we go. Referee Alan Chapman and VAR Jeff Gamble are in this one, and we go to the 31st minute. Victor Cabrera gets called for the PK and then the red card because, in Chapman's opinion, that's dogso. What do you make of it?
I didn't see the foul, Andrew. Yes, he tugs him back a little, but he doesn't actually pull back Urena, and he never makes contact with the feet. I can understand why the referee would have made the call, but once you look at it again, I don't actually see any contact. Urena knew what he was doing, falling over.
He does. It's soft, but I think there is contact, and once you call that a PK, it's got to be a red card. Now, Montreal got fortunate here. Urena missed the penalty kick, and then later on in the match, we had another PK decision here, and Piatti goes down. Walker Zimmerman clears him out. I don't know how this isn't called.
You see the contact from Walker Zimmerman. I actually see the contact from Lawrence Simon. Simon clips Piatti's legs. You can see from the way Piatti falls, it should have been called another one that went against Montreal.
Yeah, that's a penalty kick for me. Alan Chapman, Jeff Gamble said, no, not for us. But let's go now back to the 27th minute for maybe the most controversial play of this match, because Nacho Piatti could have been sent off. He's on a yellow card for diving. Here he is in the midfield. Here he is throwing an elbow?
Well, is he throwing the elbow, or is he simply trying to hold the defender off? To me, he doesn't really cock. He doesn't mean to put the elbow into the opponent's face. He's simply putting up his arms to defend himself, and it stinks the elbow made contact with the face, but it was not deliberate.
Next time I elbow you, I'm gonna say, hey, Bobby, that stinks. Too bad, man. I don't think it's violent conduct. I don't think it's a red card, but I think this should have been his second yellow. Watch here. He doesn't glance back, but he knows where the defender is, and that elbow action is different from all his other running motions. I think he knows. I think that deserves a yellow card. That's reckless for me. Piatti lucky here.
And Andrew, we saw a similar play in Columbus that referee Chris Penso had to deal with regarding Pipa Higuain.
Yeah, 94th minute here. This is a tie game and tensions are high, and there's a little bit of a pulling, pushing. I don't know what this thing is, but I do know what that is, and that's Pipa Higuain throwing his arm back into the face of the opponent. For me, that's a red card. That's violent conduct.
And Chris Penso let it go. He didn't call anything at all. But I agree with you. And the reason this is different than Nacho Piatti is that Higuain intended to make contact with the player. He wasn't just shrugging him off. He did more than a regular soccer play, and Higuain should have been shown red.
Let us know what you think of that one. We go to Red Bull Arena in the meantime. Robert Sabiga is the referee here. Jorge Gonzalez, the VAR. And in the 68th minute, Luis Robles, according to the announcers, should have been sent off for this foul on Alexander Katai. What do you think? Is that dogso?
Well, he didn't get sent off because he played the ball. And if it's a penalty and you play the ball, you can't get both a red card and the penalty. And whether it was a foul, I mean, just look at Luis Robles' reaction. He doesn't even try and argue it.
Yeah.
He knows that it's a penalty, but good, no red card by Sabiga.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. A couple minutes later, Red Bulls had a goal called back for offside, and look up the line here. This is close. It's a matter of whether or not you're saying his shoulder and his head are over in an offside position.
Yeah, but look at the right foot of Brandon Vincent on the Chicago Fire. Vincent's right foot is keeping the run of the Red Bulls attacker onside. Bad call. The Red Bulls should feel aggrieved.
Yeah, I don't think you can go to video review on this one, but I say let the close ones go to the attacking team. I'd be with you. Let that one stand. Saturday night's nightcap, LA Galaxy, Atlanta United, Baldomero Toledo in the middle for this one. 19th minute, Miguel Almiron goes down. Daniel Steres says, that's not a penalty, I didn't touch him.
I'm willing to make the argument for Steres that Almiron drags his foot and intends to make contact with Steres, but at the end of the day, it was still a foul. Good penalty call.
Yeah, he comes in here, he's diving in, he doesn't get the ball, he gets the player, that's a PK. 88th minute, LA Galaxy, especially the commentary team, wanted a penalty kick for this contact on Zlatan in the box, and that's soft. Come on, man, that's not a foul.
But Andrew, we've definitely seen penalties given for less. The Galaxy have a right to be angry, but I'm with you, soft, good no call.
We've got a new face in the refereeing scene here in MLS. That's Joseph Dickerson. He was in charge as RSL took on Colorado in a Rocky Mountain Cup clash. 19th minute, this is the big play in the game. Tim Howard comes out of his box and he handles it, and that's a red card.
And that hand really does pop up. He almost uses the saving motion too. Good red card call.
Well, it was a save. It was just outside the box. So yeah, that's a red card. Good call there. I think it should have been a red card in the 78th minute. Tommy Smith on the ground doing this intentionally. He gets a yellow card for this play. Now the rules say if it's a yellow, that means he stops a promising attack. If it was red, that would mean that he was denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity by deliberately handling. I think he is. He obviously deliberately handles. And look, when you're 6 yards out on the doorstep with a shot, that's an obvious goal scoring opportunity in my opinion.
Andrew, I disagree with you. This was not dogso. This was just a scrum in the box. It wasn't about to lead to an obvious goal. But we should also point out that referee Joseph Dickerson did not see it at first. The play went on, and it was only after the VAR, Ricardo Salazar, noticed it in his video that they went back, they saw it, they gave the penalty. A very well done sequence of VAR.
Yeah, it's all well done for me, except my opinion, like I said, that's a red card. Come on, how's it not a goal scoring opportunity? 6 yards out, Bobby. I'm going to go ahead and guess that we're going to agree on this one, though, which is this is a red card on Boateng. He comes in, rakes the back of the Achilles. He's not going for the ball. This is frustration. He's trying to stop the play. That's endangering the safety of your opponent.
You're exactly right. We saw a similar red card given last week to Paul Arriola, and Pro said that it's because Arriola came down on an exposed Achilles. Boateng does the same thing, raking his studs on the player's Achilles. Should have been a red card.
Yeah, get this out of the game. We've talked a lot on this show about the initiatives for Pro this year. Tugging, pushing, holding in the box is one of them, and Austin Trusty got caught. That's a penalty for me, Bobby. You see how he stops the momentum and evens that distance. That's because he's pulling him back.
And referee Alan Kelly saw it right away. He pointed to the spot right away. Listen, Andrew, I find this to be soft. I'm not sure Trusty actually pulled Hedges back that much. But at the end of the day, it's a point of emphasis. Alan Kelly saw something, and he made a decisive decision.
All right, let's go to Portland for Portland NYCFC. Cap off the weekend here. And something was checked on that third Portland goal in the 66th. Ted Uncle, the referee, and Kevin Terry Jr., the VAR, having a little chat here. Should it have been called back? What were they looking at?
This is a tough one, Andrew, because Flores may have been offside. And if I'm Sean Johnson, I'm holding my position in case Flores touches the ball and flicks it. But in the laws of the game, it only says that a player is offside if A, he's in the line of sight of the player, or B, he deliberately acts to touch the ball. And Flores is neither in the line of sight in Johnson, nor tries to touch the ball. So if I'm Johnson, I'm angry because I feel it should have been offside, but the laws of the game say otherwise.
All right, I'm going to believe your explanation there. I think I'm good with that. One thing to note here, Ronald Matarrita might have kept Flores onside. It's hard to see here in the video, but you got to keep all these things in mind when making that decision. I think it was the right call. I think it was the wrong call in the 89th minute. David Villa goes down in the box, and he doesn't do it on his own. Diego Chirara rolled over his legs. That's a PK.
And they said no call, but you can see that Ted Uncle goes to his ear. He was talking to the VAR, Kevin Terry Jr., but if I were to guess, I'd say that Kevin Terry Jr. said that the foul occurred outside the box.
Yeah, look right here. Yeah, there's contact, but here's where I kind of differ with this one. Because David Villa doesn't go down. He continues the attacking play. I say applaud that man for staying on his feet and reward him once he gets into the box and is fouled. But I can understand if they say the foul occurred outside, you cannot review this one.
Andrew, I see where you're coming from on that, and you might have noticed that we didn't have any calls from Houston, Toronto, Seattle, Minnesota, or Orlando, San Jose. Andrew, sometimes the referees just get it right. Sorry, guys.
Got to be controversial to get an instant replay. Remember, hit us up if you see something, say something. Use the hashtag instant replay. That's it for Bobby, myself. We'll see you next week, everybody.